I want to tell you that when I first started following Jesus, I was introduced to some people that were trying to follow Jewish tradition. They got me listening to what the Jews taught, and specifically this one guy who said he believed in Jesus, said he followed the teachings of Jesus, but also he taught the law of Moses, keeping the 10 Commandments and all of the law. If you ask these Jews which commandments of the Old Testament you still had to keep, they would say, well, not all the laws apply to every person, but you have to keep all the laws that apply to you. Do you think that you should go out and murder someone? Do you think you should go out and commit adultery? And so they would teach the law of Moses as if you also had to abstain from certain foods, you would have to cook a certain way. Basically, all the laws of the Jews, they thought that every single person had to keep in order to be a good Christian. Now, anyone who is a good Jew or good Christian knows the 10 Commandments. We know the commandments of Exodus chapter 20. But Jesus did not come saying that we will inherit eternal life by keeping the law of Moses, the 10 Commandments. The commandments of Jesus are different. If you want to know the commandments that lead to everlasting life, they're not found in Exodus 20, but in John 15. I want to read to you what Jesus said. I'm starting in verse 9. As the Father loved me, I also have loved you. Abide in my love. If you keep my commandments, you will abide in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. These things I have spoken to you, that my joy may remain in you, and that your joy may be full. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, than to lay down his life for his friends. You are my friends if you do whatever I command you. No longer do I call you servants, for a servant does not know what his master is doing, but I have called you friends. For all things that I heard from my Father I have made known to you. You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you that you should go and bear fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatever you ask the Father in my name he may give you. These things I command you, that you love one another. Jesus commands us to have his love in us, that we love God with all of our heart, and that we love our neighbor as ourself. You can tell the difference between a true Christian that has the love of Jesus in them and a false prophet, a false brother or sister, by their love. Are they really keeping the commandments of Jesus, or are they just trying to keep the traditions and the law of Moses, the 10 Commandments? Remember the Pharisees. They kept the 10 Commandments. Maybe in their own church, they kept them perfectly, but according to Jesus, they still were not saved. Most of the Jews, these Pharisees, did not inherit eternal life. Most of them perished, even though they kept the 10 Commandments and the law of Moses. Will we side with Jesus in keeping his commandments, or the religious Christians, the religious Jews, who try to keep the law to the best of their ability? Whose side will you be on today, the religious or with Jesus Christ? May the grace of Jesus be with you.